This is Ken Landgraf, comic book artist, and I'm going to be inking with my brand new Sharpie pen. Now this is a Sharpie pen, not a Sharpie marker. Make sure if you buy this, get the Sharpie pen because it works as a brush. It's a brush pen. So I'm working on the Batgirl figure here. And what I've done is I've outlined the crest of form. And I started rendering lines from long to short. I've also taken shadows from the belt and dropped them down to the hips. And I'm going to work here now on her leg. And sometimes I won't fill in the black, I'll fill that in later. So I'm going to use the sharp part of this pen. I'm going to throw a shadow here from the one part of the buttocks to the leg. And then pick up on the rendering here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And to fill in the blacks, what I'm going to do is I'm using another Sharpie thing. This is a Sharpie brush. And this is, it's nice because it's got a fat brush tip. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to dip it into India ink because I used up all the ink that was in it already. So I'm dipping it in ink and using it to fill in blacks. I like this because it's got like a slick, slippery type brush on the end. So it glides across very carefully, very nicely. It's good for filling in blacks. And now I'm going to look at her arm here. And I'm going to draw the crest of form using my Sharpie brush. I'm looking here at the breast shape, and I'm going to draw in the shadow, curve, the crest of form. And then I'm going to do some fancier stuff. I'm going to take her arm and throw the shadow down from the arm onto her breast here. And I'm going to take crest of form here. It's like a C shape and a line. And then I'm going to throw a shadow from the breast onto her body. Take a shadow from her arm and add it onto the body. So I've worked out some major shadow shapes there. Now I'm going to use my Sharpie brush to render it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And by the way, you can dip this in India ink when it runs out of ink. And the tip is kind of rubbery, which is great because it's easy to clean and control the line, make clean lines. And I'm going to put a little bit of rendering over here. I just noticed I wasn't paying attention and I smudged the ink, so there's no problem with that. I'll work in black around her. Yeah, you always got to pay attention that you won't smudge the ink. Okay, let's see what else I'm going to do. I'll put in some more rendering lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As you can see, you get quite a bit of nice line work from the Sharpie pen. It's good for controlling, like, let's say the bat symbol here. Now, instead of wasting the ink again, I'm going to take the Sharpie brush and fill it in. And this is good for rendering the brush pen, the Sharpie pen. You can use it for like her hair. Now I got a C shape here, so I'm inking in C shapes. Another C shape, another C shape, another C shape. And you can see here you can get quite a few rendering lines. If you want to control it better, just use it more parallel to the paper. I'd recommend this over most of the brush pens that are out there. I love this. It's like working with a pencil. Here I'm doing thick and thin on her hair. And we have the arm here. I'll turn the paper so I can render towards me so I can see what I'm doing. And we got her body here. I'm looking at it. You're going to ink towards me, lines. And this brush works for anything. Like turn it this way and do the other side of her body. I'll start with the cristoform. Always do this cristoform thing, so you know where you're going to put your lines. As you can see, this works pretty much like a brush. You can even hear it, listen. Sounds like the movements of a brush. It's very nice. And we're going to look at Black Canary here. Inks her blonde hair. I'm looking for the C shape. And since it's blonde, you want to put fewer lines. Again, the Sharpie pen's doing a very good job here. And the trick to inking here is you just look at the shapes. It's got to follow some kind of shape. And I'm going to look at her figure here. I'm going to draw the breast shape of her costume. Just draw the cristoform. And take your brush, and usually a lot of times I'll go with long lines to short. I'm going to leave a white space. You can see here how I'm able to control this Sharpie pen very good. And I'm going to draw a drapery here. And the trick to the drapery is letter shapes. This is going to be a C with a shadow. And then I'm going to do a Y shape. There's the middle of the Y. And there's the other part of the Y. I find most of the drapery shapes form C's or Y shapes. And we got our costume here. And we'll look at our boot. Render on the outside. And you notice I turned the Sharpie pen around a bit to keep the points sharp. Works just like a brush, any kind of brush pen. I'm going to take a look at Catwoman. Okay, she's got black hair. So we want to start with the cristiform up here. And then turn her around so we can start going down with the brush lines for the hair strokes. And she has her costume, the headgear. Let's start that with cristiform. And render some lines down. Put black around the eyes. And then looking at her hair here, it's C-shape. And I'm going to throw a shadow under her chin. Again, I'm just mostly doing line work with this. I don't want to waste the ink in it. I'm feeling huge black areas when I can just use that Sharpie brush. And you can see because the ink is in the Sharpie pen, you don't have to dip it into ink or anything, so it's fast. Look at this. Thing's inked almost already. I've got a finger here. I'm going to ink only the middle shape, middle form. Throw a shadow from the rope going down the finger. And as far as the rope, use that C-shape method. Here's some more of her hair. Throw some drapery on her. Lines with black shadow going back to lines. And you got the Catwoman's body here, so let's outline the breast to get the cristiform. Shadow under the breast. Midline down the body. This is always something that Frazetta did. You leave like a space. And then I'm going to ink the side of her body here. I'm going to do the cristiform. And then start rendering. And pick up over here. And I'm paying attention to those lines going across here. I'll work on her leg. Again, it's a cristiform. C-shape for the knee and cristiform. And again, I'm demonstrating this using the Sharpie pen. Throw a shadow down from the knee. Pick up at the calf muscle. And it's probably a good idea for you to buy one of my How to Draw books. There's a lot of information in those books. I put everything I know about drawing into them. You can go on eBay and type in Ken Landgraf for search, and you'll see the books. And you can either order them off of eBay, or you can contact me directly here on YouTube by messaging me. Drawing the costume here, leaving white spaces. Again, here's the middle of the breast, right? So you feel that out. And you might want to start with a line like that, a line over here and a line here, and then start rendering. what I'm going to do here for her arm, I'm going to draw the cristoform through a shadow from the breast onto her arm. Also, if you like my videos and you're learning something, please take the time to click on that subscribers button. I want to get monetized. Make it worth my time to do these videos. Okay, we got our tail. I'm going to draw the side of her tail in shadow. And that's going to flip around, side shadow. And here I'll ink the inside of her tail. Now this brush can be used for a lot of things, like let's say back girls' gloves. Very controlled lines. Or shadows down the leg. And if you want, you can take the brush pen and, a Sharpie pen, and draw some very controlled lines down here. Can also be used to do ground effects. One of the famous ground effects is you draw a shadow and you leave define like a rock and just ink the shadow of it. And you want to do some rendering. The brush can be used very tight. Okay, so that's the demonstration of the Sharpie pen. I'd recommend this for inking. And Sharpie people, if you're out there, send me about 1,000 of these. Thank you. Okay, so that's it. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe.